Hello and welcome to the FasterFreedom Show. My name is Sam.
And my name is Lucas.
And Lucas, if anybody's heard any of our episodes before, they probably understand that we hate debt.
Hate it.
Debt is bad.
Don't want to use it.
Don't use it.
Get it away.
Dave
Not
Ramsey
for us.
is our idol.
He is. Shout out DR.
Let's sneeze. So
Yeah, I'll help you out there a little bit.
okay, no, I guess it went away. All right. It's still kind of there. Okay, we're going. We're just pushing through. If I sneeze, I'll move away from the microphone. So today we are excited. We're going to talk about 10 extremely successful business owners and how they have utilized debt to grow their business.
Yep.
I say, and I speak in a little more generalities than you, Lucas. I feel like you would like to be a little more factual, but I don't know anybody, and this kind of backs that up, that's like ultra successful that doesn't do it through debt, besides Dave Ramsey. So everybody else that I know that you would consider like ultra successful, I don't know, 50 million or more maybe, all uses debt to get there. There's no other way to do it unless you're Dave.
Yeah, and I think learning the principles of these people, is important. They're very, very smart people that have very smart teams on their businesses. So why not utilize some of those if you got big dreams? Like if you want to be worth, 2, 3, 4, 5 million and retire and work for a company your whole life, there's nothing wrong with that. You
Not
don't
a damn
have to
thing.
utilize debt. You can have a 2, 3, 4, $5 million 401k and retire just fine in 30 years.
63 and a half,
Yep,
64.
no problems there at all. But this is probably for those who want a little more than that, I would say, and how to compound your assets and build your assets, whether it be a company or real estate, by leveraging other people's money.
Compound your sound to the ground.
Wow.
Was that good?
You practicing for our 250th episode rep?
I am. That's what's going to open up with. No, it will not. But anyway, so the nuts and bolts of this episode is we're going to break down 10 entrepreneurs and how they utilize debt to either start a new business or grow their current business. And a few of these I've mentioned, but most of these I have not. So this is really fun. I mean, we got, not spoiler alert here too much, but we got everyone from, Walt Disney to Elon Musk to Branson to Henry Ford. So we span the generations, which is another thing. This isn't a new thing.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Henry Ford. I think you're good there.
Yeah.
This goes through generations. This isn't like a new thing utilizing debt. So it's what we've done and what we suggest you doing. But for the first time ever, drum roll, we're going to let you know that this entire podcast, we have a sponsor now, and the sponsor is Deal Pilot. So go ahead and spin that shit. Real estate investing can be overwhelming, from finding the right property to analyzing the right way to staying ahead of the competition. You need a tool that can help you succeed. That's where Deal Pilot comes in. It's your all-in-one toolbox to simplify and supercharge your investing. Whether you're hunting for deals or evaluating properties, we got you covered. With over 160 million properties in our system, Deal Pilot gives you access to accurate data, exclusive MLS listings, and AI tools to help you predict if a property is going to sell even before it hits the market. Take your search on the go with our mobile app, where you can drive for dollars, build lists, and launch targeted marketing campaigns. Plus, our built-in CRM, lead analysis, and rehab estimator make sure you're ready to close deals fast with real numbers and reports that will impress your lenders. Ready to level up your investing? Start your journey today with Deal Pilot, the smartest way to find, fund, and flip real estate in today's market. And we're back. That was pretty cool, huh, Lucas?
That was cool. Great video, Sam. Great jacket.
Looking
Suave.
fresh, looking suave to the flaves.
Yep.
I'm rhyming today.
You are.
You said, get the fuck out the way. Yeah. All right. So
boy don't play.
I didn't mean to rhyme. I did a tweet the other day where I didn't even mean to rhyme.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting into the 10 things. I use ChatGPT a little bit, so maybe it helped me, Lucas. But this tweet, I knew the first two rhymed, but I didn't know the last one rhymed. I put this out. Ready for it? All right, here we go. And then we're getting into this, I promise. Man, I tweet a lot. All right, here we go. Making money is the start. Having your money make money is smart. Using other people's money to make money is art. Ooh.
And do it all by following your heart.
Ooh. All right, here we go. Let's rock it. All right, we're going to have to go through this pretty quickly, but the number one example is Elon Musk. So he has grown all his businesses through debt and borrowing money. We are specifically going to talk about right now his main businesses of Tesla and SpaceX and how he utilized debt to get those rolling. So quickly, Elon Musk is worth about $240 billion.
Is that good?
Is that good as of today? And I've seen several forecasts that like by 2030 he'll be the first trillionaire, which is
he's worth $250 billion right now.
And a trillion's a lot.
A lot.
A billion's a lot.
Too many zeros for us to even comprehend.
I see legitimately, and I
Yeah.
feel like I understand the difference between a million and a billion more than some, and this is beyond that.
And man, just let's do. What is the difference between a million and a billion? A million seconds is like, what was it like?
2 weeks.
Yeah, like 11 days or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then a billion seconds is like 30-something years.
39 years, yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. So
Yeah.
trillion is like
I don't
decade,
even. Yeah.
like I don't even know how long we should look that up. That's
Centuries.
wild.
Yeah. Has
So
there been a trillion seconds since Jesus has been born? Let's look at it that way. Like, who knows? Seriously.
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's
BC.
how much. That's insane. So,
yeah, and one of the cool things that I want to talk about here a little bit is we'll get, kind of like the mindset around this and all that, but the type of debt that he utilized, I didn't even know about this
Yeah, why don't you
before
get
reading
into
this. So it's called convertible debt. And these are bonds that can convert into stock. So my understanding of them is, he issues these bonds for people or companies to almost invest in
He's
his
issuing
company.
the bonds? Okay.
I don't know who issues them, but they invest in the company in a form of debt. But if the company does well, they convert to equity and stock ownership in that company, which I think is super cool. And if you believe in the person and believe in their model, you could get really rich in investing in some of those companies. And obviously Elon can as well. So really cool.
I like it. Did you get the trillion seconds?
I'm still trying.
Okay,
to
you
find
take your
it.
time.
Yep.
So I think the big thing here is.
I'm sorry, I did have it. It's
Okay.
31,709 years.
Yeah.
So 31,000 years is a trillion. That's how the difference. So we're talking 11 days, 39 years, 31,000 years.
Way before Christ then.
A long time before
Like
Christ.
29,000 years before Christ, right?
That's about when most people think humans were around.
Wow. That's wild.
Even though they're wrong, humans been around a long freaking time, much
So
time
big
longer.
difference.
Not
He's
getting
worth
into
a
that
lot.
right now. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the one thing I do want to note here going forward is yes, Elon Musk's net worth does not include debt. So he's in a lot of debt, but so he's borrowing money to do these, but then he's creating value on top of the money that he borrows. So is that, I feel like that goes without saying,
It's the
but
net.
maybe not. It's the net worth.
Yeah.
So just because he borrows billions, and another tweet the other day, billionaires are usually in billions of dollars of debt.
And I
Billionaires are usually in millions of dollars of debt. It's all about the debt that you have.
And I think it's cool on how recently he's done all this. You know what I mean? He believed in Tesla, but it didn't really become profitable for, gosh, I don't even remember. But it's been like not a whole lot. Like within this past decade, it really became profitable. Maybe like 6-7 years ago. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but he believed in it and issued this debt in 2014 for Tesla, 10 years ago.
That is wild. So
Yeah.
a lot of his stuff has been recent. And last one on here, then we do have to move on so we get through these because these are really fun to look at. I remember when he bought X. He did that through debt. I mean, technically, I guess if this is some type of bond or stock or some type of equity he can sell, he could have sold some of his stock in some of these companies and like wrote a $44 billion check.
Yeah.
But he didn't, even though he could have. When he bought X, I remember seeing, I think Bank of America got involved, Goldman Sachs got involved, and then I remember seeing a list of like 60 investors that gave 50 million, 100 million, 200 million. So he even used debt, which is borrowing other people's money, to buy X. So he sees the power of it. Not everybody agrees, especially with him politically right now, which is fine. But his mind as an entrepreneur, whether I see people saying like he's stupid and he's fake, like 240 billion is insane.
Yeah.
So he's obviously knows how to make
Can't
money.
walk into that.
No,
and
can't.
he used that. He believed in himself. He bet on himself, and then he created an asset because of the money he was able to go out and get and build infrastructure. And then he can go out and get more money because of that asset increased in value. He can go and borrow again against that.
This is exactly what we teach people to do in real estate. It's much simpler and it's much more attainable. That's why we do it through real estate. Eventually, we may do it with businesses, but anybody can do it through real estate. No offense, I don't know that anybody can do it. Musk did. Last thing on him, promise. This isn't even including like Tesla, SpaceX as kind of his things, but some of his biggest companies that aren't even like probably that big of his net worth yet is going. I mean, Starlink is huge and getting bigger. He's got the Boring Company, which I think they said could be his biggest one, and then he has what's the last one? Starlink, Boring Company, Neuralink.
Oh, yeah.
wild. Dude
Yeah.
is nuts.
Got some big ones.
All right, okay. You get number 2, Louis.
All right, Jeff Bezos.
Bezos, I believe.
Bezos, whatever, founded Amazon, in a garage pretty much. And in the late 90s, kind of right before Amazon started to take off, he took on $2 billion in this convertible debt. So that seems to be a theme with these larger companies and these high-powered entrepreneurs. So $2 billion in convertible debt to fuel its growth. And then in the dot-com bubble, in 2000, he issued almost another $1 billion in the same type of debt to just sustain operations. So still believed in it, did what he had to do to not go out of business pretty much, and it obviously paid off for him.
I saw his letter to his investors after the dot-com boom in 2001. Did you see that?
No, I've never read that.
You should look it up. It's really quick, but it's just saying, like, what was it? It was really well written, and basically just telling them like all the stats how Amazon's grown, but the whole market has kind of shifted a little bit. So like they've grown, they grew, but their valuation went down because the whole market pulled them down. Obviously it worked, but it was a really cool letter, and he had a really cool example of how stocks are weighted and how they are how they're valued. But anyways,
I love that.
And this doesn't even go into the origination. I believe he borrowed from family and friends to initially start Amazon.
Yeah.
And I think he said he had to get like $1 million at one point, and he got like from 20 people he got $1 million. So it was like an average of 50,000 a person. 20 people gave him $1 million, and it was some people 100, some people 20. And those people literally became billionaires off of that.
That's crazy. And they became billionaires.
He's like, it worked out well for them, but they believed in me.
Yep, because of, obviously went public, and his stock valuation, where Amazon was $2 a share in the early 2000s.
It's like investing in Prosper right now, bro.
In 2020, it was over $3,000 a share.
Is that a lot higher?
So it's 150,000% ROI for early investors. So crazy. And even you're talking about the early.
I'm talking about like
before it even went public.
Probably 10, 20 times that. So
yeah, so unbelievable.
Imagine investing 50 grand into something and having it worth $1 billion.
You just can't do that by saving $200 a month, and you just can't do it. So if you utilize that the smart way, you can just get to places that are bigger than you would ever imagine and get there faster than you ever imagined.
Yeah, and real quickly, this is one of those things where once your business gets big enough, there's like AWS we have on here. It's a huge part of their business now, and that was something that was kind of brought to the public. It worked for them, so they're like, let's sell this to other people. That wasn't even the goal of Amazon, to have a web hosting service company. So I just think as you grow and do bigger things, there's so many different ways to monetize.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to do things. We're looking at like potentially, creating a software deal in the future beyond Deal Pilot, and just the resources and things you can sell from that have been pretty cool.
Yep, very cool. Number 3.
Number 3 is Richard Branson. His big company, I'm sure you own several, is the Virgin Group. He's worth $3 billion, which is, that's funny how that doesn't look like a lot compared to these other boys, but $3 billion is a lot of damn money.
Big chunk.
Yep. Yeah. So he got his debt to like grow his airline and media companies. I want to talk a little bit about his debt. I didn't really see too much on that in here.
Yeah, not much specifics on the debt, but he took on $600 million in debt, so a good amount. And he did so during the financial crisis to stay afloat. And during hard times like the financial crisis or COVID or any other time, that's the hardest time it is to get debt. People don't want to lend, and they're pinching their pennies too. So just having a great business plan and a reputable company that people believe in that still want to issue that much money during the financial crisis is amazing, and says a lot about Mr. Branson for sure.
Connections. And I saw a podcast the other day. I don't know why I keep bringing stories into it, but it's fun. A lot of the stuff has spurred memories of somebody saying like they think we're in for a huge next couple of years being rough, but like that's where you make your money, and that's what Richard did. So
yeah, and he does a mixture of bank loans, which we do, bonds, and then private equity, which we do as well, to kind of fund that $600 million.
I like it.
Most of it was tied to individual ventures that he has, like Virgin Atlantic, which is heavily leveraged, especially during the pandemic when pretty much all the airlines got bailed out. So.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. They all got bailed out. All right, what's the number 4? I learned about the debt on this one, so you can introduce so I can talk about the
Yeah,
debt.
Mr. Henry Ford, rest in peace.
Hank.
R.I.P.
I call him Hank.
Yeah, Ford. You kind of get who he is, right?
Correct, yeah.
The Ford Motor Company. He passed away in 1947 and was worth $200 million adjusted for inflation at the time. I'm sure if he was still around, it'd be a lot more than
The
that.
economy is a lot bigger. His percentage of the economy was probably bigger than almost any of these guys. There was just not as much money around.
For sure. You want to talk a little bit details?
Yeah,
on
his
Mr.
debt
Henry
is
Ford?
structured a little simpler from what I can see, and maybe that's probably, Lucas, because there might not have been some of these
Yep.
debt structure vehicles around back then, right?
Yep.
So it was mainly just with retained earnings and bank loans, honestly, and probably some personal loans mixed in there as well. But basically, getting money from banks to increase his assembly line. And while everybody knows Ford as the car maker, America's top car maker, I believe, for the most part, and what I like about them, Lucas, having a Lightning truck and a Navigator, which is Lincoln, which is Ford,
Yep.
is not like a Ford honky. I just think it's cool that they didn't get bailed out in 08. They were the only automaker that didn't get bailed out. Which again, it's nothing against the other ones that did, but I just think it's cool that they were that financially strong and had enough of a business model that didn't have to.
And I like that they're, they have a really good core focus, right? They stopped making cars. Is that accurate? Outside of the Mustang, I think.
Yeah, so SUVs and trucks.
SUVs and trucks. They just go all in at what they're good at, and I love that.
And I like most of their stuff is North American made. Let's put it that way. I know some of their bodies of their trucks for a while were in Mexico, but considering like the world's going, I like support North America here. You know what I mean? I'd rather have something made in Mexico than China, right? So like I'd rather have it that way. So I appreciate a lot about them. But I was saying the big thing with him is his like industrial assembly line is the thing that he's most famous for, that he was able to produce Fords for such a cheap price that anybody could afford them. And then I've seen several quotes of his saying they wanted to raise the price, and he said, no, I want to make it to where everybody can afford it. So he just helped get more efficient with the assembly line. So that was the big reason for the loans, because they were profitable before then. He was one of the first automakers. The reason they were able to grow and scale was he borrowed money to create an assembly line to create more vehicles, therefore make more money.
Yep, love it, man.
Pretty simple and
so
cool.
that's number 4. Number 5, Mr. Walt Disney.
R.I.P. Actually, maybe kind of. I think he's got his head chopped off and frozen. So,
oh, really?
yeah, one of those, that like.
So maybe Elon can bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild?
That'd be wild.
Yeah. Anyways,
Kind of reminds me of Batman and Mr. Freeze. How he like put his wife in that.
Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Mr. Freeze. Man, those Batman movies used to be corny.
Oh,
like
it's so corny.
Dark Knight is like such a twist on like being realistic.
Yeah.
Like the Joe and all these and like all the bad guys in the Dark Knight or in like the whatever trilogy.
Yeah.
Were like realistic.
Yeah.
And then even like the new one with the Batman.
Most realistic.
Yeah, with the Penguin, which I still watch the series on HBO, but all the it's so realistic.
Yeah.
But they weren't back then. They had like Dean DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like it looked like he was spray painted blue.
Yeah,
it was
awful.
really
Yeah,
bad.
I rewatched it not too long ago, like with my son, and it's bad.
Like really bad.
Really bad.
Okay, yeah. Okay, just making sure. All right. So it probably made money, I would guess. But anyways, so Walt Disney, I believe a Missourian, if that's correct. Is that correct, Shane? We have you on the ones and twos a lot over there. But he borrowed a lot of money in loans, and I know this a little bit. I haven't read, so you might get the structure a little bit. I know he like basically bet the farm on Disneyland because he had, profitable from his movies and from Mickey Mouse, all this stuff, but he bet the farm on Disneyland, and Disneyland is quite the operation. I went down, or Disney World and Land, I guess. I was down at Disney World in Orlando, and I was looking it up, did a video on it. I think it's like $30 or $40 million a day that one park does in revenue. It's insane.
Yeah, I've never been, and don't
fun,
have like a
but
huge itch to go, but I see the draw for sure.
People go like every year.
It's crazy.
People are crazy about it.
And they're starting like this new product where you can like a fast pass or whatever, and that pass alone is it is separate from like the normal admission, and it's like $300 per person.
Do it.
Yeah, 300 to I think 300 to 500 or
If
somewhere in that range.
If you go, do it.
But in a family, like a family of let's say 5, that's like $2,500 per that family plus the price, so they're paying probably $4,000.
You can
just
afford
to
it,
go.
so do it, because those lines are freaking long.
Yeah.
Bro, long.
But that's why. Well, that goes to how much they're making a day for one family, outside of like food and drink and,
probably a lot of
parking
people
and all
do
that.
it.
Yeah, so that's wild. So anyway, what's cool about Walt is
you do
that
that one, I'll look at
he
it,
was having trouble securing funding through some of the traditional sources that we already talked about. So he relied on partnerships, which I think is really cool. Partnered with companies such as ABC, who went in together and co-financed the entire park in exchange for exclusive broadcasting rights.
Really?
So I think that's super cool.
That is cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. Walt, he was quite the businessman. I think I heard a cool quote because he died, I think, before the. Why do I have all these? Maybe my brain's just firing right now, Lucas. We are on game. I heard that he died before the park was finished.
Oh man.
And his brother, Howard, I believe.
Howard Disney.
Is Howard Stark? Maybe that's where. Maybe is it Howard Disney? But anyways, he. I know. Yeah, that'd be funny if his name is Howard, because I would definitely think Howard Stark. But anyways, he. Walt said, like, they're like, you're gonna die before it's done. He said, I've already seen it. That's the type of vision he was. He's like, I've seen it. I know it better than anybody.
That's cool.
I've seen every part of the park. I know exactly how the park is going to look. So anyways, I thought that was kind of cool.
I think that's very cool.
Is it Howard?
There is a Raymond, a Roy, and a Herbert.
Herbert, maybe. Close enough.
He had a brother, but one of them kind of took over.
Yeah,
But anyways, I
three
thought that was
brothers.
cool. The visionary, obviously, that he is and was.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. And I think it's also cool that he bet on himself and leveraged some of his personal assets to get the business going, which, obviously we know some about that as well.
Yep, awesome. And that's similar to the next one, Howard Schultz, which is Starbucks, worth $4 billion. So looking at how he structured his debt, it was with some local investors and some personal debt to finance the purchase. So it's different. A lot of people, Lucas, that I know in the space and you know in the space, like they're like unsecured debt, unsecured debt, unsecured debt. Don't put your name on the line just because it can bite you in the butt. A lot of people that we know won't do a loan unless it's unsecured. Pretty sure we do a lot of personal guarantees, all right?
Yeah.
Probably should eventually get away from that, but
Yeah.
we're betting on ourselves, and a lot of these guys did too. And we're betting on ourselves for baby Monet, as my friend Kong says, compared to like Howard and Walt, what they bet on themselves.
Yeah. So, pretty cool. I think, we've seen so many like little coffee shops pop up in St. Louis.
Seven
here.
Brews is a good one.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I just can't imagine. That's how Starbucks started.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Little old town, and not little old coffee shop in Seattle, and then boom, they're freaking everywhere. And that's what it feels like.
Everywhere.
At least. They feel like an overnight success, but imagine all that work that led up to that. So
Don't you like Best in Show, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Remember that one when the two meet? They're like, I was at a Starbucks and I saw her at a Starbucks across the street. It's just like such a little, like, because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, they are definitely everywhere. And I think Starbucks just like completely bamboozled Chipotle, right? They just stole Chipotle's CEO.
Yeah.
Because Chipotle was, remember
see
when we were in
that.
college, Chipotle had all that stuff going on with their meat, and that was, but then the Chipotle's like incredibly profitable now. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is this CEO, but the Starbucks went and sniped him, and I think it's something crazy where he can like, that has a plane, he can work from home most of the time, and something crazy. But so Starbucks, you think is doing good now. Apparently, they got like one of the top CEOs in the world to
That
go ahead and
helps.
run them up.
Good
So
leadership helps for
that
sure.
will help a lot. All right, you get the next one, Walsey.
All right, Ray Kroc, McDonald's. What's that movie about him?
The founder.
The founder,
Because
yeah,
it's-
that's super cool.
The McDonald's brothers started it, but he kind of like shirt in there and took it.
He sure did. It's a little interesting for sure. Whether you
Yeah,
think it's right or wrong, some of it feels a little weird. But anyway, Ray Kroc passed away in 1984. Estimated R.I.P. 500 million. So he'd be worth a lot more than that. They make a lot of hamburgers, Sam.
75 a second, I think. I saw a clip from our last one. By the way, we should be on, if everything's going smoothly, we're on all the social medias right now. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we are on YouTube. So go ahead. Go ahead and check us out all those places. Maybe Tiki soon even. So go ahead and check us out. We appreciate you being here.
Love it, man.
Ray Kroc, the founder, so he took out some personal loans to buy out the McDonald's brothers, which I guess looks like a decent price back then, maybe $2.7 million in loans. But I mean, he saw the future. He's a very aggressive businessman, and McDonald's, I believe, is kind of known similarly. And I got this from a show called "The Food That Built America" about the McDonald's brothers, or the men that built America. Have you seen that one?
Nope.
Really? You haven't watched The Men That Built
Oh, I've
America?
watched that one.
Yeah, with like,
it's like a dramatization.
Yeah, but it's like Vanderbilt, Ford, Carnegie, and Rockefeller.
Yeah.
This is the food that built America. It's like Hershey and
one I haven't
McDonald.
seen,
But they were the. It's similar, same like producers, right? Really well done. But it's like McDonald's was kind of known for the assembly line of getting burgers out quickly. And side story, I believe McDonald's was formed up near Chicago. I believe my grandpa had an opportunity to invest in Grandpa Bobby in. Because he was, painter up there, owned a painting business in McDonald's, but did not believe 5 cent or whatever 25-cent or 5-cent hamburgers would sell.
They sure did. 75-minute or a second, you said, right?
So we probably wouldn't be here if that happened. Well, I probably wouldn't be alive because something would have happened. But yeah. Anyways,
so he used a little different approach to getting enough money and capital to grow his enterprise, and he structured franchise agreements to generate the cash flow, so we didn't have to take on excessive debt. But he did have to end up buying out some of the original founders, and he took on bank debt for that. But it wasn't that much back in the day, only $2.7 million in actual loans that he took out to buy out the founders.
Awesome. I think that that is the franchise model is kind of how. So it sounds like he took on debt to kind of gain control and then use the franchise model to grow, which that was, I would assume, probably one of the first, one of the first, especially probably one of the first big ones. And we talk a lot about our systems and our community and how they have access to our systems, and you invest in yourself to be part of our community, and you get our systems. That's what a franchise is. It's basically we're franchising ourselves out to our students. So it is a very smart way to do it. I've heard the example, and I say it all the time for McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, but their systems are so good that high schoolers basically run both of those restaurants pretty much exclusively, and that's just how good their systems are.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is being even done through like a POS, like point of sale, but like a system electronically where no one doesn't have to be there for part of it. So pretty systemized.
All right, next fella, Larry Ellison. Is that how you say that?
Larry Ellison, yep. I've heard a couple times, but that's Oracle. Big old company.
So he's worth a lot, $130 billion.
Is that good?
That's a lot, man. That's like half of what Elon's worth right there. That's amazing. That's as of last year. So gentleman is still alive. No rest in peace on this particular guy. But so Oracle Corporation. So Ellison used significant leverage in Oracle's early days to fund the company's development and expansion. Oracle issued bonds. We've heard that a lot in this episode, and took on debt to acquire other companies and grew its enterprise software offerings. Yeah,
and they're one of the largest software companies globally in the world. And I think he's been worth a lot more recently. I think, if I remember reading a few things, which is story time for people today, Lucas. I believe he's gained a lot of net worth in these past 2 or 3 years with what Oracle's been doing. So they use aggressive debt to pay off some of their acquisitions. So they're paying and growing quickly. So
love it. So
very cool.
Yep, Oracle issued $3 billion in bonds in 2014 for Oracle, and then later took on another $10 billion for acquisitions, just like we do. We take on debt to acquire little businesses, but we do it in the form of real estate. If you own a multifamily building, that is a business.
Yes.
So we do the same thing. $10 billion of debt for acquisitions like PeopleSoft, BEA Systems, and NetSuite.
Awesome. That's wild.
Yeah.
Is my glow up right of Oracle recently or no?
2021, the stock price of Oracle was around $63. Today it is at $173.68.
Yeah, I remember hearing. Yeah, his and he's got obviously a big chunk of that. I remember just seeing he was, what exact math is, but like he was not near 100 billion not that long ago. Now he's freaking way past 130 billion.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
Pretty much tripled his net worth because of the valuation of his company
and debt.
Obviously, help him get that valuation.
Properly leveraged debt.
Yep.
You don't know anybody that hasn't. You don't know anybody that's created massive wealth that hasn't properly leveraged debt besides Dave Ramsey. But again, he preys on poor people's fears and sells services to churches. All right, number 10, Stephen Schwarzman. Did I steal that one from you?
No. Good.
All right, Stephen Schwarzman.
Yeah, Blackstone.
Woo! What about that, Blackstone?
Yeah, so Blackstone, private equity firm, used leverage buyouts.
The private equity firm, I believe.
To acquire companies by borrowing large amounts of money against a target company's assets. So kind of similar to Oracle as well. But what I like about Blackstone, from a business standpoint, do I believe in exactly what they're doing, probably not.
No.
But from a business standpoint, they believe in real estate, and they're very smart. So if they believe in real estate, I'm going to believe in real estate,
Correct.
right? So I think they own like 300 billion in real estate or something like that. It's a lot. It's more than anyone and anybody, any company. They are the real estate people, and they have other stuff as well, obviously.
A lot of other stuff, but yes, they've gone heavy into real estate because they just see the value, especially a lot of single-family real estate, I believe, too, right? What do you got, Shaner?
Still looking here. I see that they have a total of $1 trillion in assets.
Yep.
But
Okay,
And
because
I think
Blackstone
about a third of that is real estate, give or take.
and people mix Blackstone and BlackRock. They're completely separate,
Blackstone used to own BlackRock.
but now they're
They
completely
sold them, and they said that that's one of their biggest regrets.
Is
is
selling
BlackRock.
because BlackRock is ginormous.
Yeah.
But people that say BlackRock's buying up all the real estate is Blackstone. But
Yes.
anyways, and
Yeah.
then how they structure their debt to get growing and going. Oh, get growing and going. That's good, man. Lucas,
You're on it today.
I'm going to
proud
close
of
my eyes on my shot. I know it's going in.
You need to open them.
Okay, I'll open them. All right, so they're called LBOs, leverage buyout. So
I
what
should close my eyes.
Yes, you need to. So the typical LBO, you borrow 60 to 70% of the purchase price of a company. So for example, they bought Hilton Hotels, $26 billion in total financing. A majority of that is debt. So just heavily debt structured to buy a company that you know is going to produce enough cash to pay off the debt, just like we do with real estate.
Yep.
Hilton Hotels is real estate.
Yep, and it's been a good investment for them, yielding over a 300% return, and that's a big part of Schwarzman's net worth, reaching $35 billion. Good chunk, and you know, a lot of different ownership and structure, and Blackstone probably. We talked about their assets being $1 trillion, so that is not their net of that, right? They have debt against that.
Yes.
Right. So maybe they have, you know, 600 million of debt. So true company net assets is probably 400 million, give or take, and he obviously gets a portion of that because he's one of the owners.
Yep. And then I don't know who BlackRock. You probably know. Maybe don't. Okay.
No.
I would definitely recognize the name. I think I recognize the BlackRock CEO more than I've heard Schwarzman, but 100% the BlackRock
Yeah.
one I would recognize,
Yeah.
but I can't say it.
Yep. Cool, man. That was fun.
That was fun. Thanks, Gary, for putting that together.
Yep.
So if you like that, make sure whatever platform you're watching us on right now or listening to the recording, subscribe, follow, whatever those things are. Share this with a friend. Those were fun stories, and
Yeah.
I was on a heater there for a minute, and I just told a bunch of random stories that kind of correlated. So that was fun. Share this with a friend.
That was, and we're not done yet. We got a lot of fun
Yes,
segments
correct.
to
Yeah,
go.
definitely not done. Got the fun segments now, these
Yeah.
are the most popular segments for the shorts.
Oh,
but
yeah. A lot of fun. Let's get into real or fake.
Perfect.
All right, our first headline. Is this a real headline or a fake headline, Mr. Prim? Blade Runner 2049. Producer sues Elon Musk and Tesla. Warner Brothers. Not sure what
but
that
I
is.
think I'm not sure.
Maybe they shoot Tesla and Warner Brothers?
This is really struggling to make me think this is real or not if you don't even know,
Discovery
guys.
over AI images. That's what Blade Runner producer sues Elon Musk, Tesla, and Warner Brothers, I guess. Discovery over AI images.
Huh. AI, there's going to be a lot of suits with AI recently. So
I'm going to say real.
I'm going to say fake.
It is a real headline.
Okay. Number 2 is a little more our speed.
Yes. Disney changes Captain America Brave New World release date to December 2026.
If this is real, it's going to piss me off.
There's no way this is real. Why, that's
I feel
a whole
like I would
year.
have heard about it because it's next year, right? Like
Yes.
April or something like that. So I'm hoping it's fake. I didn't hear about it, so I'm going to say
I've
fake.
seen the trailer. I know there's a ton of post that goes in, but a lot of the scenes are shot.
Yeah.
Like 6 months ago, I remember seeing the trailer of
Yep.
this. I think, what's his face is in it? Indiana Jones, whatever that guy is.
Harrison
Yeah,
Ford.
Harrison Ford's in it, right? I think he's like the president or whatever, or high up. He's like bad guy, I think. But I'm going to say
fake.
fake.
I'm going to say fake as well. Please be fake.
It is fake. You know, they did that with Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
Yeah.
They showed it to people, and they hated the way that they did CGI Sonic so much that they completely redid the movie.
I remember that.
Really?
Did you not know that?
Was that the first one?
Yeah, before the first one released, Sonic looked like a.
It was awful.
He looks like a G now.
I know, like a stuffed animal. Shane should pull up a picture of that,
Yeah.
or you can look it up after. Yeah, I remember that there, and it was a smart move because I think that Sonic trilogy now it does very well.
Yeah, I'm going to see it on my birthday. Sonic 3 comes out the day before my birthday, so I'm going to go see it as my birthday present.
Get this last one, balls or
All
rolls.
right. Japan to consider an AI opt-out for publishers aiming to protect copyrighted content. I'm going to say real.
Unless it's like Germany or something. But yeah, I'm going to say real. I bet whatever that is real. So I'm going to say real.
It was the EU.
Oh,
Yeah,
see. So
yeah.
I'm going to count a half on that. So yes. It
All
was
right.
the EU.
Okay.
I was kind of good. I said Germany. They're in the EU.
Over there.
Half right.
In the European Union, yes.
Yep. All right. Next segment. Riddle me this.
Lucas has had so I was late today, so Luke's had 40 minutes to think of these. I haven't even seen mine, but we're going to make Lucas look silly still. Riddle me this, Walls.
Yeah.
What do you buy to eat but never consume?
And some of these, most of these, it doesn't matter how long I have to think about them.
Correct.
It's either I know it or I don't.
I agree with that.
This one, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Tell me if I'm going the right direction. Gum.
But never consume. No, that might be a half point. That's not the right direction. No.
At all?
This is not something that
You actually eat and put in your mouth.
Well, maybe it goes in your mouth, but you don't eat it.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Peanuts, peanut shells, sunflower seeds.
It's not food. It's not edible.
Okay. Put it in your mouth. Toothpaste.
He's getting that. He's doing well.
You like that angle.
Cutlery is the answer. Forks, knives, spoons.
You don't eat that.
To eat. Assists you in eating.
Oh.
We'll give you half a point because those were good. Gum, toothpaste, you're good at this. All right, number
Mouthwash.
2. What kind of room has no doors or windows?
Okay. I have the right answer for this, but I guarantee Shane didn't put this. It's chat room.
We're going to give that to you. It's mushroom. We're going to give it to you.
Mushroom.
We're going to give that one to you. You got a point and a half. You're doing well.
Yeah. All right.
All right, number 3. How far can a child walk into the woods?
I don't have any idea on this one.
Well, I don't know why it has to be a child, but
It doesn't have to be a child.
no.
2 feet. I have no idea on this.
Halfway. Because you're halfway in and then you're halfway out when you get to that middle point. He doesn't like that. I can tell by his face when he thinks you're stupid. All right, 1.5, Walls. Hit me up, bro.
All right, true or false? Samuel, Michelangelo, the painter, he hated painting the Sistine Chapel because he was on his back for hours a day.
Gosh, I'm gonna say I'm going to say false
You are accurate.
because
Got some substance
but
to
I
that?
think I'm wrong with my substance. I don't want to sound
That's all right.
stupid. Should I just say it?
Yeah.
He's the one that painted it, or somebody
Yes,
else
he
painted
did.
it? Okay.
And he
Painted
did hate painting it, but he didn't do it lying down like the mainstream belief.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he was
so
standing when he did.
he was painting a lot of the insides of the domes, and he built a special curved scaffolding so that he didn't have to move, but he had to crane his neck the whole time. He
I
didn't
was
like it.
thinking.
So we looked up a lot.
I was thinking like the
And
Ninja
that's why he
Turtle a
hated
little
it.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So answer's correct.
Yeah, good work. Good work. All right. So a flock of crows is called a murder.
Yes.
A flock of ravens is called a conspiracy.
That is false. There's no freaking way.
That's true.
What?
Isn't that wild?
Doesn't even make sense.
And T. York was down here earlier. We were going through them, and he was like, he's called an Epstein when a flock of crows and flock of ravens are flying together. A murder conspiracy.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
funny.
thought it was good.
That is good.
All right, last one. A law on the books in a specific California town outlaws nuclear weapons with a mere or a bleak, I don't know the right word, a small $750 fine for rule breakers.
I mean, that's just so outlandish. I'm going to say true.
That one is false. It's actually smaller than that. It is true, but it's a $500 fine. So.
That's where, yeah, okay.
But see, read that, and how does that even make sense? Oh, sorry for your nuclear weapons. Here's a $500 fine.
Yes.
Seems a little. That doesn't make sense to me.
It does not.
It's
Well, there's a lot
California.
of silly. Yeah, well, not a lot of makes sense over California. Not a lot makes sense in California. That's for sure. But
All
it'd be
right.
there in like a week and a half.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, for Danny's 40th, right?
Sonoma, yep.
Nice.
Don't tell
Is that
Maisie.
up north? Is that Napa? Like
That's
close
up-
to Napa?
Yeah, right
Okay.
next to Napa. Don't tell
Nice.
Maisie, though, because she thinks we're going for a business trip.
Just, yeah. that's
She'll be pissed if
Yeah.
she knows we're going to hang out with
She a
Danny
big
and
wine
Krista.
country girl?
Well, she just wants to hang out with Danny and Krista, and we're
Okay.
not going to be home, and she's not going to be happy about that.
All right.
Awesome. Great. So, motivational quote, Lucas. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity.
Yeah.
When there's blood on the street, make money.
I love that.
When
I
others are
think,
greedy, be fearful.
I feel like a lot of people have a tough time seeing the opportunity because they're so wrapped up in the chaos. Like it doesn't, when you're in true chaos, it doesn't, your mind doesn't have a lot of room to even think about opportunity, right? So those of that can and can sift through that chaos are the ones that do the best and find that opportunity and you know, get really wealthy on it or do something really cool.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities for sure. Some of those gentlemen that we talked about earlier took advantage of some chaos.
Probably went through some chaos.
They did.
Definitely.
100%. Awesome. So what's the score?
It's not good.
I made my last one too.
I don't think this is accurate.
It is. It is. I went
Okay.
back and looked.
That's right. I made the left-handed hook shot to go up, I think 11, and then you made the corner to go up 2, and then to cut it to 9.
Left-hand hook shot, go.
Left-handed-
Maybe we should make it to where like I don't go backwards.
What about a left-handed hook shot from the corner?
Do it.
All right.
All
I'm gonna
right.
do
Let's see here. All right. Lucas is over in the corner.
So worried about
He's gonna do a hook shot. See what happens. Oh, it missed just slightly. All right. Sam is shooting from the corner
This is a big shot.
with his right hand, and it's in. So he gets to go up 2.
Down 7. That's all right.
Don't call it a comeback. Thanks for watching. Share it with a friend.
See ya. Thanks for listening to today's episode. We hope you got some major value from our conversation. If you love what you learn, make sure you like, rate, review the show, and help us spread the word by telling a friend.
If you'd like to learn more about working with me inside one of my programs, we'll have those links in the show notes, along with all our social media handles, so you connect with us there for free. If there's a real estate question you'd like us to answer, feel free to send us a message and we'll cover it in an upcoming show.